I built this AI-powered excuse generator called Excuse Forge, which was inspired by one of Nate Herkelman's videos. So shout out to Nate for giving me the idea. And the way this works is that this is connected to an N8N AI agent. So you put in the situation. For this, I've put in my friend's dog died, and we have an excuse style here. So we have funny, professional, outrageous, believable, or creative. I'm gonna go for professional because it is a dog and is quite sensitive. And then when you generate an excuse and you click on this button here, it will come back with, I can't come over because I found out my friend's dog died and I'm performing a heartfelt rendition of Tears in Heaven at the K9 Memorial Service. Dogs don't all go to heaven, some need a proper send-off. This is the automation inside of N8N. And the way this works is that there's a webhook which will receive information from Google's Firebase. It then plugs that information into an AI agent, which uses ChatGPT to generate the response. And then once the response is generated, it will then respond back to the webhook, which will send it from N8N into Firebase. So this is the app inside of Firebase. If you just head over to studio.firebase.com, sign in with your Gmail. As I'm recording this, it is still freely available and it does everything that Cursor, Replit, etc. do. So you can see on the right hand side here, I actually already generated the prompt. So build a fun and user-friendly web app called JustifyBot. I actually called it JustifyBot, but Google came up with Excuse Forge, which I actually think is better. So I just kind of ran with it. The app helps users come up with clever, humorous, or believable excuses for various situations like missing deadlines. And then the app should include an input box where the user type in the context or scenario. So I need an excuse for missing my friend's birthday. And that's this part here. A button labeled generate excuse that when clicked sends an input as a payload to the following webhook. So this is my webhook inside of N8N. And I'll show you how you're going to build that in a sec. And then the response from the webhook will be displayed dynamically on the page as the generated excuse. Keep the interface clean, playful, and easy to use. Again, this is prompt engineering. You can make this as colorful or as clean as you want. And so once it's done, and I've gone ahead and created this because it did take a few minutes to actually generate this web app. It will then go through the crunching here and it will just generate the output for you. Then once it's done, you can then publish the app or create the prototype, I think they call it. And so for this, I've gone for this designated color scheme. I believe it was just the default, but again, you can put in any color scheme you want. For typography, you could generate any text in any fonts that you want. So if you have that, and then for iconography, I've just gone for simple, clean icons for categories, actions, and inline art style. Then for the animation, just subtle transitions and loading animations to enhance the user experience. And then so once you've done that, you prototype the app, it will then create all the libraries, all the schemas, all the backend files, which will take a few minutes. This took about 5 minutes, somewhere along those lines. And then you need to create a Gemini API key. You can actually let the AI just do that for you, or you can go into your cloud console and generate it there. And then once it's done, you can actually make some additions or you can amend the code. So I wasn't receiving the payload when I first did this. So then what I did was I just prompted again to just refine it and let the Google Firebase Studio understand that I need to receive the information from a webhook. So then I've pasted in the webhook again. It's done more changes to the file and now it's updated it. And then once it's all done here, you can see everything's been received. And once I built the automation inside of N8N, I want to send a response from the webhook that will format it in this example. So it's JSON that's going from the webhook inside of N8N back to the app inside of Firebase. And so that's it. That's the entire prompt. Sometimes you have to go back and forth and just refine it a little bit, but honestly, Firebase is pretty damn good. And so to build this automation, you're going to need a trigger, which is the webhook. So if I click inside of here, I put this in test, but if you wanted to go into production with a live app, you then change to the production URL. This is the method, the actual URL, and the method is post, which is this option here. And then what you want to do is you want to respond using the respond to webhook node, and we're going to obviously add that. So when you run that, you're going to get an output, which is a scenario, my friend's dog died, which has been received from the web app inside of Firebase. The next node you want to add is an AI agent node. We've used it many, many times. It's super easy. You want to define the prompt below because we're going to get that from the actual scenario of the webhook. And so you just want to drag this over and paste it here. And so you're going to see a green overlay and you're going to see my friend's dog died. And then as with any AI agent, we are going to need a prompt, a system message. So this is the system message. You're witty and sarcastic AI designed to turn even the most mundane situations into hilarious excuses. When a user gives you a situation like I missed the meeting or I forgot to do my homework, your job is to create funny, unexpected and over-the-top excuse that sounds almost believable, but just ridiculous enough to be entertaining. Respond in the markdown format and format the output like this. So I've just given an example. Keep it short, sharp and clever. Include pop culture references, absurd scenarios or dramatic twists. And that's about it. That's all I've done. And then once we have an AI agent, we are going to need the language model. So for this, I've just used an OpenAI for a mini because it's very affordable and it does a good job and it's pretty quick as well. Then once you have that, it will then generate an output. So this is the output here. It's a string variable, which has obviously created the excuse. And then what I need to do now is I need to send that back to the app inside of Excuse Forge. So for this, we're going to need a respond to webhook node. We're going to respond with JSON, and then the response body is just this JSON text here. So what I'm asking you to do is create a variable called excuse, and then the output is just going to be the output here, and then you just drag and drop that. And I've just added a stringify just to make it a little bit easier to manage inside of Excuse Forge. And so when you run it, you'll see an output, which is this. And this is what gets sent over to Excuse Forge as at the bottom here where it says your perfect excuse. And you can play around this, you can add logos, you can refine this, you can make it better, you can make it glossier, you can even sell this as a service, right? So if you wanted to sell a service to a client or prospective client that they needed, basic functionality inside of an app, then you can sell them the front end, which is built inside of Firebase, and the back end is obviously whatever you're going to do with that information. And you can run this off your own N8N account and sell it as a service. And if you like this video, consider joining the Skool community to help support this channel, because all the content on the channel is always going to be free. And I'll show you exactly how to do that with a tutorial. But inside the community, we have some great content in here. It's actually burgeoning. We've got entrepreneurs, we've got business owners, we've got people with full-time jobs that want to create an AI side hustle, but they're not sure how to do it. And when you come over to the classroom here, I've created a bunch of classrooms. One of them, which is very popular, is how to create and launch your AI agency in 16 days. So when I first started, it took me 30 days to create my AI agency. That was from conception to building it out and to getting my first AI customer client, who paid me $1,000 for about 3.5 hours work. So that took me 30 days. I'm going to show you how to do that in 16. And I've also got all the AI automations and blueprints here. So these are all the AI automations that you can input and bring into your AI, into your N8N platform. I've got a bunch of them here. Some of them haven't been discussed on the YouTube. Some of these are private to just the community. So click in the description, the link in the description. Sign up for N8N if you don't have an account, and sign up for the Skool. And once you do, just follow the on-screen instructions. Pretty straightforward. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Like this video if it's given you value, turn your notifications on, and I'll see you next time. Take care.